What is happening, everybody? So, one of the questions that's come up a bit more often on my channel has been, well, what are my thoughts on the potential sale in whole or in part, in terms of brands, by FCA to a potential buyer from China? There's a couple that have been courting FCA in terms of purchasing the brands of Jeep, Ram, and I guess by association, Dodge. So my thoughts on that, well, to be honest with you, I don't have enough experience or background and knowledge in that type of a conversation to really pose a sophisticated response to the question. But, you know, just as an avid enthusiast, well, I guess I can at least talk it through and at least maybe use some of my own life experience in the conversation and just some observations that I've made in, my time on this planet. So let's look at it from, that proverbial 30,000 foot view, as folks like to say in the corporate world. First of all, FCA, Fiat Chrysler America, is based in Michigan, but keep in mind, its holdings are based in Italy, pretty far away from the United States. And when you look at it from that point of view, well, let's take a couple of steps back and look at the acquisition itself of the Jeep and Dodge brands from by FCA from Daimler Chrysler. At that point in time, there were a lot of folks that were freaked out about that sale. You could just hear people cringing because, oh my goodness, my Challenger is now going to be nothing more than a rebadged Fiat. Well, the reality is that merger, or at least, that acquisition gave us the modernized version of the Challenger and the Charger. It led us into the SRT Jeep that we now know and love, my beloved 392. The 8-speed automatic, the youthful performance and the muscle car performance brand of SRT got a huge boost with the Hellcat, and now with the Demon. Still in love with that SRT Durango. So yeah, since that acquisition, although the ball may have been in motion before, FCA was able to bring those projects to fruition. Keep in mind, those things could have been shelved in favor of small economy-oriented cars. But no, instead, FCA doubled down and wanted to be even more American than American and built the baddest ass factory street legal hot rod that's ever been released to the public. So there's that to consider. But the reality is that, so when you look at it at that point of view, the reality is that with that acquisition came a lot of really positive things. So I don't want to look at a sale or a potential sale to another foreign holding company as an immediate negative. It could be that this new influx of money could keep those projects alive for years to come. This new holding company could potentially want to maintain a performance image and to want to convey even more of a youthful appearance to the brand. It could also mean that newer, smaller models could be brought to the United States, which would potentially mean that you're talking about a brand that can now more easily meet more stringent CAFE standards moving forward. So in that respect, yes, it's a great thing. But you can't get past the whole Chinese part of this. I mean, that really is the elephant in the room. And of course, the whole connotation that, China made things, regardless of what they are, just are of an inferior value. Well, look at that argument from this point of view. How much of your income, your household income, is already going to China? If you go to any major big box store, chances are the things that you're coming home with are going to be made in China. And so because of that, it makes me look at the car itself. The vehicle is nothing more than the sum of the whole of its parts. So if that's the case, where is the steel coming from for your car or truck? Where are the tires, the other components like electrical components, hoses, belts, the glass, everything else in that car? Where are those components coming from? Are we really talking about an American-made car? And by American, I mean North American, which would be Mexico, United States, and Canada. Are we really talking about an American-made car, or are we talking about a car that is assembled in North America with products that are sourced from overseas? Well, it kind of makes you think about that for a minute, doesn't it? I mean, really, if the vehicle is nothing more than the sum of the whole of its parts, you could almost make an argument that the car that you're driving or the truck that you're driving, it could already be made in China if you look at it from a certain point of view. So I guess when the argument is put forth that, you know, it would be bad or it would be a problem for the FCA brand to sell either in whole or part to a Chinese manufacturer, as far as I'm concerned, as long as the manufacturing stays in North America and nothing really is changed in terms of the logistics of the products that are being made, I don't really think that we're going to see any major difference in terms of quality or craftsmanship or, well, fit and finish than we're already seeing now. Keeping in mind that, you know, how many of other American manufacturers' vehicles are already going through this same transition. I mean, look at any American automotive manufacturer, and chances are, I don't want to put a percentage out there, but a healthy enough percentage to mention is probably already made in China, really no matter where you're buying your car. So by that standard, I'm not really too worried about it. I'd like to be optimistic about this. If a sale were to go through, I would like to think that that company or that holding entity would want to keep the brands as they are, because that is the reason why they're so interested in buying these entities as they sit. Whether it's Jeep, Ram, it could be the Dodge branding. All of these brands hold a very special place. You know, the all-American Jeep, the performance-oriented segment of the branding would be Dodge. Ram, obviously, with the trucks. There's a ton of reasons to keep each one of those brands alive. So, yeah, if there's a ton of money thrown at a new SRT insert, whatever it might be, yeah, I'm going to be on board with that. And just know that no matter what entity owns, you know, the brand of Dodge or Jeep or Ram or Chrysler or whatever the case is, chances are it's still going to be based somehow in the United States anyway. So that's about it on my end of it. Post up your comments and let me know what you guys think about this potential acquisition. And again, it is a potential acquisition, by the way. Nothing has been agreed upon at this point. So that's a wrap on this. Y'all have a great one. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. Adios.